On this day, April the 16th, Sir Frank Williams celebrates his 73rd birthday, one of the great characters of Formula One history. He started racing in 1969 with some fairly shambolic efforts, even by his own admission, and it wasn't really until 1977, when he partnered with technical genius Patrick Head, that things really took off.
I know that he spent, a long time trying to make it work in Formula One, and that's what everybody did in those days. He just kept going and he kept fighting, and eventually in '79 it all came good, and from there on in, Williams has been a dominant force in Formula One. You look at the 80s and the 90s, and the likes of Nigel Mansell and Alan Prost and all those wonderful names that have driven our race cars, all brought in, by Frank, and winning races in Frank's race cars, and Frank and Patrick's cars, and it's amazing what he's managed to achieve in his time in the sport.
114 Grand Prix victories, 6 Drivers' World Championships and 9 Constructors' World Championships, and 306 podiums. Much of that success achieved after he broke his spine in a road accident in 1986. In the last few years, there have been some fairly lean times for the Williams team, particularly since BMW left them in 2005. But last year, they bounced back with 9 podiums, and this year, they're one of the leading teams in Formula One.
Any team, even if it's Red Bull in their heyday, they still are in their heyday, sadly. It's hard for them. There's no one can relax if you're perched, when you perch someone near the top. And for those of us trying to get back up there, we can't relax either. So it's a very demanding, taxing sport in many ways, but it's very worthwhile to the spirit.
Along the way, there have been many highlights and a few lowlights as well, and some great drivers have passed through the doors of Sir Frank Williams' factory, from the flamboyance of Colombian Juan Pablo Montoya, who almost won the 2003 title with Williams, through to Alain Prost, who calculated his way to the 1993 title with Damon Hill as his teammate alongside.
They're all very different characters, and all of pretty similar, enormous but not potential, but enormous courage and ability. Alan Jones comes out first because he was my first serious driver in Formula One. He was a man's man, big strong fellow, and a racing car. He was really, really powerful. Quick, he won his world championship properly. With Ayrton, who I have often said, if he hadn't been killed, he would have become president of Brazil. He just had that intellect and that ability to judge character. And I remember, he would often look at me after practice and he'd be thinking, we're not saying, you're kidding me, you're not telling it straight, or this sort of thing, because he's just very clever. Well, I guess the way I look at it is I wanted one of the best jobs in the world, which is the truth. There's zero exaggeration in that. And I enjoy what I'm surrounded by more than competent people. I have a close family, but Claire has done a brilliant job for Williams and will continue to do so. And given she's half of my age, I continue to hope that she'll carry on doing it for many years after I do, if I do step down.
So as Sir Frank celebrates his 73rd birthday on April the 16th, he's got an awful lot to look back on and be proud of, and plenty to look forward to as well.